All right, folks, we're down here at the river, getting ready to dig the footer. So the center of the post is going to rest on this cinder block right here. So we're going to be basically coming out 14 inches, and then on each side of that 18 inches. Now this footer here only sticks out about an inch, and it doesn't go down very far. We'll definitely be pouring concrete below the bottom of this footer. This footer here actually doesn't go quite as far as this edge. This curved part right here, that's part of the footer. This sticks out about 9 inches. So certainly this part of the main footer is taken care of for us. But we're going to dig around it, come out, and go in. And we're going to go down maybe a foot, foot and a half. And then on the other side, we've got to go down probably 2 feet because the dirt level on the other side of this wall is much higher than it is here. Anyway, that's what we're doing today. Folks, we're digging the second hole. This is the companion to the bigger hole we put on the other side of this wall right here in the other room. What this pink insulation is doing here, I have no idea. The guys who put in the insulation a few years ago just put this plastic over it. It seems to be evenly distributed throughout the whole floor of the crawl space, so I have no idea where it came from. Maybe it came from this wall, which was an exterior wall before the 95 remodel, but anyway, so there's our hole. The other end of this brick, which is in this wall, is the center of the post that will serve to support the main beam. So basically, we're going the middle of this 2x6. These are 6-inch wide cinder blocks instead of the normal 8. But the middle of here and the middle of this wall forms the center point for the post. So we're going to have to cut out this sill plate right here and this joist, this rim joist and that rim joist to provide space for the flange that holds the post. So we're going down a little more than a foot from the footer for these two walls here. And so this is about a little more than 16 inches this way and more than 16 inches this way to give us our 3-foot square pad. But obviously we're going to drill and epoxy rebar into this footer and have a little bit of rebar down in there per the engineer design. All right, that's where we're at. Hello, folks. So I'm back down here at the river. Beautiful, super hot day. Of course, it's supposed to be 95 today. May get storms later on. I had scheduled a inspection for the 4 holes that my son and I dug up last weekend, or last week. But unfortunately, it's been very rainy, as I've been mentioning before, and here is the consequence. And we have standing water up to the highest footer. The lowest footer is about 6 inches or 4 inches below the water level. That's the highest footer, the original footer for the house. So the hole goes down that's about 14 or 16 inches of water right there. Of course, the form is now soaked. Maybe I could still use it if it dried out, but clearly the entire crawl space is full of water, hence no inspection. The pump was running when I got down here, and it obviously wasn't doing anything. I was surprised the pump had survived whatever length of time it was running. But so kind of screwed. Next step is to put in a proper setup outside. I'm going to go first. I have to rig up proper lights for the trailer, and then I'll go into town and get all the supplies I need for a French drain with a sump pump, and we'll go from there. Good times. All right, folks, this is next day. I'm out here. I just put a new cap and a new downspout on this. When we bought the house, it had no gutters at all. I put on gutters that went from that corner down there all the way around and then back toward the street. And I just ripped them down from here just because I was sick of cleaning them and dealing with them. And this spout was just running water off of here and onto the ground, which of course is not good for keeping water out of the crawl space. So I've buttoned this up properly so I can run a downspout down to here and into a a downspout connector to go into a sump drainage tile under here. So I'll be putting the sump pump right in this area here. This will come down and join to a drainage tile that'll be about 2 feet down, and then eventually it'll go all the way to the front corner, and then maybe even around the front corner a little bit, and then eventually we'll dig up under here too and run one going down there and around. So the task for today is to try and get this dug and as much of 10 feet of this dug, so that I've got some stone arriving here in about an hour and a half, and maybe we can get 10 feet laid today, I don't know, or tomorrow. We'll see. So this is 24 inches tall, 26, and the hole is 10 feet or 10 inches deeper than this rim here from ground level. Now, of course, every time I dig dirt out of the bottom, water will come in and fill it, because the ground is wet and it tends toward air. So I'm going to not dig anymore until I'm ready to put this in. So I'm going to put in a thin layer of gravel on the bottom, And then I'm going to wrap the bottom of this with geocloth after I drill, I don't know, 5 or 6, relatively small holes, like 1 inch, 1.5 inch diameter. And that is to let this kind of water come up into the well. Because even if, like today, it's not raining, but I want the groundwater to drop so that in case this is flooded, it will drain into here through static pressure. So I'm going to actually use this port, and then I'm going to drill another one 90 degrees to it. And I'm going to cap that one because it's going to be facing that way. And I'm not going to dig that one yet. But I'll drill this hole and start digging this way. And once I get to a point where I can set the tub in there with the pump, in case it starts raining at some point this afternoon or something like that, then at least the hole will be pumped out. And then I'll continue digging the rest of this and putting in a 10-foot line to join to the doohickey that I stick in there. So this elbow is way higher than it will be eventually. This is just emergency hookup just to get something working so that I can be confident that if the storm comes, we can deal with it and not have the crawl space flood again so dramatically like it has
just going to test this with a hose. And then we'll cover up the edges. After this test, we'll cover up the edges so that no more dirt can fall in the lid. All right. Wow, that's cool.